The Workforce Pell Grant program is a first-of-its-kind federal program providing Pell Grant funding for high-quality, short-term programs designed to support America's workforce needs. In Texas, this program is offered in collaboration with the Office of Governor Greg Abbott and the Texas Workforce Investment Council. The Workforce Pell Grant program expands federal Pell Grant eligibility to include workforce programs with a total duration of between 8 to 14 weeks of instructional time and 150 to 599 clock hours in length. Eligible students must have a valid Social Security number, a high school diploma or a recognized equivalent, and must not have exceeded lifetime limits on Pell Grants. Students who have received a bachelor's degree may be eligible for a Pell Grant via this program. Institutions must submit their applications for Workforce Pell Grant program eligibility with the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. The application is a two-step process. Step 1 consists of filling out an eligibility certification form. Step 2 consists of completing and submitting institutional program and student information. This video will provide guidance on how to complete Step 1. Before beginning the application, the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board strongly encourages applicants to carefully review the Workforce Pell Grant guidelines linked on the Coordinating Board's Workforce Pell Grant webpage to determine whether a program meets the eligibility criteria. The Workforce Pell Grant guidelines provide clarity around the following criteria: institutional state authorization, accreditation, Title IV eligibility, and good standing requirements, the requirement for a program to be in existence for 1 year prior to application, eligible program duration, instruction, and format, the requirement for eligible programs to end in a stackable and portable credential with the exception for programs with a sole recognized credential, the need for credit articulation including for non-credit programs and registered apprenticeship programs, specifics around the need for programs to result in high skill, high wage, or in-demand occupations while also meeting employer hiring needs, mandatory program completion and job placement rates, details around value-added earning calculations, and institutional administrative capability and capacity requirements. The Workforce Pell Grant guidelines also detail the steps to becoming a certified and approved Workforce Pell Grant program, the high skill, high wage, or in-demand industry and occupation methodology, accountability metrics, and employer hiring requirements, policy and process, among other related topics. Again, the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board encourages applicants to thoroughly review the guidelines to ensure full understanding of the Workforce Pell Grant program eligibility requirements. Please continue to watch this video to learn how to best prepare for, complete, and submit the eligibility certification form.
Before beginning the eligibility certification form, institutions should confirm that the institution itself is eligible to receive Title IV funding and that each program you plan to submit meets the baseline eligibility requirements. As part of the eligibility form process, institutions will be asked to demonstrate that the program meets all statutory and regulatory requirements listed in the program guidelines. You will complete the eligibility certification form for one program at a time, meaning you must answer each question and upload all required documentation for one program before moving on and answering any questions about the next program. Because of this, preparing all documentation before submitting the form is key. Being prepared before starting the survey will save you time, so we recommend getting everything in order first, starting with the required evidence. The required evidence will differ depending on the type of program you submit. As you see, we have listed several examples of documentation you may need to prepare. Beginning with stackability or credit articulation. Programs must demonstrate stackability by showing students can continue along an educational pathway after completing the program. Institutions may provide degree maps, pathway documents, articulation agreements, or institutional policies demonstrating how credits apply towards additional credentials. For non-credit programs, Institutions should provide documentation showing a formal pathway into a credit-bearing program. The documentation should clearly demonstrate that students are able to build upon the credential rather than ending at a standalone educational experience. Next is portability and employer hiring needs. Institutions must provide at least 2 letters from separate employers or workforce partners demonstrating that program graduates meet current hiring needs. Letters will serve as evidence of both portability and that the program meets employer needs. These letters should verify that the credential provides students with the skills and competencies recognized by employers. A strong letter will clearly identify the occupation the program leads to, skills students obtain, and how those skills align with current workforce demand or employer needs. General letters of support without details about hiring needs or program competencies may not sufficiently demonstrate portability. Evidence of sole required credential. Programs seeking the sole required credential exception must provide evidence that the occupation recognizes only one credential for entry into the field. This documentation should come from authoritative sources such as statutes, regulations, licensing boards, or governing occupational standards. The submitted evidence should clearly demonstrate that no additional stackable credential pathway exists within the occupation. Registered apprenticeship programs must provide documentation confirming the program is officially registered with the U.S. Department of Labor. The submitted documentation should clearly identify the apprenticeship sponsor and confirm the program's active registration status. Institutions should ensure the documentation provided is current and aligns with the program being submitted for Workforce Pell eligibility. Once you have the documentation for each program prepared, please make sure you combine it into one PDF per requirement per program. In other words, if there are multiple pieces of evidence, such as the 2 letters required for programs that must prove portability, those letters should be combined into one PDF to be uploaded into Qualtrics. Please use the format institutionname_document-type.pdf. Once you have all of this prepared, you are ready to begin the survey. Please note there is required student-level data that must be submitted. Do not attempt to submit any student-level data in Qualtrics. This is done in Step 2, Program and Student Information. The survey begins by completing institutional and contact information. Next, you must confirm the institution is eligible to receive Title IV funds. Then you will be asked how many programs you plan to submit. The survey will ask about each eligibility requirement, and you must explicitly state, yes, my program meets, or no, my program does not meet, in order to move forward. If you answer no, my program does not meet to any of the questions, the program will automatically be disqualified from moving forward. You will answer the eligibility questions first and confirm the program meets all the requirements. Next, you will be taken to a page that gives an overview of accountability metrics, completion and placement rates. For the accountability metrics, THECB will determine if a program meets these requirements, but it is on the institution to submit student-level data via MoveIt. You must agree to submit student-level data in Part 2 in order to move forward. Next, you will be asked to upload all the supporting documentation required for your specific program. Finally, you will be asked to affirm the information you submitted about the program is true and correct. The survey will loop through the eligibility form for each program you plan to submit.